And welcome into the Rob and Kale Show. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. My podcast co-host is in the upstate. He is proud of his 7-3 football team. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
Not much. What are you doing this evening?
I am doing well. Working on stuff for our live show coming up on the 29th. But tonight, before we get into that, we got to talk about these games, Jackpot. And we aren't going to – I guess we should put this out there, but we didn't put the South Carolina and Clemson games in them. They're heavily favored over the Wofford Terriers and the Citadel Bulldogs. The line on the – I think it's like 40 points or more. And we just decided to put their games into the mix. So that's how it works, all right? So if you see tonight, you're like, wow, what's the deal? We just decided to add these other games. So
those games, they're just crappy because you never know what those teams are going to do. You might sit most of your starters for half a game and who the FCS team covers, just so we just don't mess with that. I think we did it this way last time too. Yeah, I can't hear you. He's muted himself.
Yeah, I muted myself. No, so those games just aren't very. I mean, I hate to be that way, but they're not very interesting.
We want to have something somewhat competitive.
Yeah. So our first game this evening, Jackpot. Let's get our picks out of the way here. UNC's at Boston College. Boston College is getting 3 at home. That's kind of a weird game, right, Jackpot?
Yeah, UNC's been on a little bit of a roll lately. I actually like Boston College. Teams seem to have trouble going up there for whatever reason.
Yeah. I guess I could buy into that. I don't know how serious UNC is taking anything either. I'll go with Boston.
Playing pretty well. They seem to have been playing pretty well lately.
Well, the next game we are going to have these issues, Jackpot. Does LSU care? Vanderbilt at LSU. LSU is giving up 7.5. Does LSU care?
Yeah, that's man. I want to go one way with that, but I got to be sensible about that too. So I think LSU. I think LSU wins handily there. It's a night game. So, does LSU not play a home game that's a night game? I was talking about that the other day in a video. Do they not play a home game that's not at night? I swear, the last time I remember them playing a home game that wasn't at night was when they played Tennessee 2 years ago.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I remember the Tennessee game from a couple of years ago.
And they got blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're that much better than them, and I'll give up 7.5 and take LSU. The next game is Ole Miss at Florida. Florida's playing like they got some balls, Jackpot.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, you had a team over there in LSU, coach and players fighting with each other, and I don't know. I just think they were in a very good spot. I'm not a real big. I don't know. I'm not a believer in Florida. I mean, they just got blown out on the road at Texas, and I know they got their quarterback back, but I mean, is that worth? I mean,
they just beat LSU last weekend, so
yeah, 3-4 touchdowns. I mean, I think they're in for a letdown. I think Ole Miss is just that much better. So
yeah,
I kind of think Ole Miss kind of goes in there and blows them out.
The next matchup is probably the biggest of the weekend: Indiana at Ohio State. Ohio State is giving up 13.5 at home, Jackpot. Yeah, what do you think about that one?
Yeah, I actually think Indiana covers this number. I mean, I really do. I think that they I'm sure they probably feel a little bit disrespected. I'm sure they've been reading all the social media and all the other BS that nobody believes in them, or everybody thinks they're overrated, they're a fraud, yada yada yada. I don't believe it, man. I mean, there's a difference between being a fraud and I mean they haven't played a tough conference schedule. Well, they can't help what their conference schedule is. They didn't make that. They can help what their non-conference schedule is, and somebody should have, But once again, this coach, that's not his fault. I mean, that has nothing to do with him. He had no input on that. This has already been done years in advance. They've never played tough non-conference schedules, so maybe he'll be the head of changing that stuff up. But I think they're good. I mean, I think they're really, really good. They're disciplined. They're well coached. Ohio State has a tendency to start off slow in games. And I think Indiana could potentially get out to a lead here. I think Ohio State will come back. I'm pretty confident Ohio State will win the game. I think they might keep it inside that number. I mean, I could see them winning by 10 points, 7 points, something like that. See it be a fourth quarter game.
Yeah, I'm not really buying what Ohio State is. I'll roll with Indiana, get the 13.5 there. The next one is Colorado at Kansas. Kansas coming off the big win where they just upset BYU. And Colorado, it's amazing how people are walking back the stuff they said about Deion Sanders. They haven't been as, I don't know. I don't even know what to think about Colorado. I think they got 2 top 10 picks on the team, and Deion Sanders might be coaching the Cowboys next year, as far as we know. I'm going to take Colorado minus 2.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way. I think their cute little story comes to an end here. Kansas has been playing pretty good. They've won a couple of games in a row, and I just think they got a much better coach. They got their quarterback back. They're going to make some plays. I'm not sure what their record is. You'll probably look at it, but I'm not sure if bowl eligibility still might be a thing for them if they can manage to win. But this is a very short line, and I think they go out and say strike the upset. I guess the mild upset. They're 4-6 right now. So they got to have this game for bowl eligibility. If they win this one, then they've got a game on the road at Baylor the next Saturday. You'd like to think that's at least a toss-up too. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. So you're going the other way, and that's cool. I just I don't know, man. I don't really feel confident about
Yeah.
Kansas.
Fuck Colorado.
Fair enough. Next up is Wisconsin at Nebraska. I'm gonna take Wisconsin and the points there. I mean, get the 2.5. Which way you rolling with?
Did you know that Matt Rule fired Marcus Satterfield?
Well, I mean, he should have. He should have never fucking hired him. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Nebraska.
yeah, I guess I kind of get that. Up next, we got Army versus Notre Dame. Jackpot. This game is at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Now, the one thing about when they play games there, they never seem to get the. It's always shitty as far as the field goes. So that turf might be chewed up a little bit. We'll see. You know, the other time they played a service academy, Notre Dame, they beat the holy shit out of Navy. We thought Navy was pretty good. I think I want to take Army though. I'm gonna take Army plus the 14.5. Just the neutral side.
Our line's 14.5 or is it 16? 14.
14.5 in our contest right now. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I mean, Army's much better than Navy. I think they are. I mean, I think defensively they're better, and more physical, and I think they're going to give Notre Dame some problems. But I mean, they could win this thing outright. I mean, I really think they could. I don't know. This is at Yankee Stadium, so I'm imagining they can probably bring their whole core there. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not far. I mean, it's just like less than an hour away.
Right. Yeah, from West Point, right?
From the Bronx there.
Yeah. I just worry about the field being torn up, and I don't know.
Well, they just had a World Series. I mean, you'd think it would have been in good shape.
That was over a month ago, Jackpot.
So, well, they'll have it all. They'll have it fixed up. This is not like, you remember back in the day, like when we were young. You know, you had some of those stadiums like Cincinnati and Atlanta and San Francisco. All those they all played baseball at the football stadiums were all baseball stadiums too.
Yeah.
And in NFL, and it was early in the season. I mean, both would be going on. So, like, you might be kicking an extra point off the pitcher's mound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they still did that at the Coliseum before, where they just closed it this year. But yeah, I'm with you. I remember that. I remember at Braves at what was it? It was at Fulton County Stadium. They had Chief Nakahoma and his teepee. Can you imagine that going over today? Holy shit!
Oh yeah, somebody's feelings would get hurt over that.
Yeah. All right, next.
All right, calm down. Last night there was Last night there was an ambulance across the road from our house. Yeah, they're picking up the neighbor. She's a very large lady. Must have been having some heart problems. But I don't know what they're parking at now. God dang it, shut up. Keep on going there. Somebody's parked in front of my house. Let's see what the fuck's going on.
Jackpot's going out to investigate what's going on at his house. We'll see how that goes. My dog is standing right next to me, by the way. Pluto, the deaf dog, doing his thing. While we're gone, I wanted to thank a couple of folks. Biscuit for his donation to the live show. Thank you very much for that, sir. Also, Mr. Reed, his donation, and Jeremy Shipes. Thank you for donating to the live show. We're getting close to the first goal. We're getting there. We're getting there. But all right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that little piece of shit doing out there in front of my. They were parked there near my mailbox. It's like a little sports car, like a little Miata or something. And it took off down the street and then it turned around and came back this way. So I don't know. Maybe I hope they didn't put a snake in my mailbox or something.
Well, if it's a Miata, you could just go out there and kick the front of it and put your foot through it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next game is Southern Cal at UCLA. These are two gong show teams, in my opinion. I'm going to roll with Southern Cal minus the 4.5,
though. That's such a short line. It's a rivalry game, and it seems like in this one, when Southern Cal's favored, UCLA plays better. That's right. What I've seen. So, and UCLA have played a little bit better this year in the past few weeks. So I'm going to take them. I think they'll cover.
All right, Illinois is at Rutgers. It's a 1-point game, jackpot. I'm rolling with Rutgers here. Their running game, I think they'll gut it out. Give me Rutgers -1 at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Rutgers too. They're tough wherever. And I don't know. I'm not sold on Illinois right now. I mean, I thought they were a lot better than what they were, but they've kind of petered out a little bit. So.
Next matchup is BYU at Arizona State. BYU coming off that loss last weekend. Arizona State with Scattaboo as their running back. Go and watch that kid. Hey, if it's 4th and 3, he's going to get you 3. He's one of those kind of running backs. Big bashing motherfucker right up the middle. I'm going to take Arizona State -3 at home.
Yeah, I think I'm going to roll with Arizona State too. BYU's fraud. They're absolute fraud.
Yeah.
And Arizona State's been playing pretty well. So,
last game of the week, Air Force at Nevada. This is the Cale Hall shitter. Air Force is getting 3.5. Go Air Force. Fuck Nevada.
Yeah, I'll take Air Force too. I think it's probably a little bit, probably at least a little bit more. Might not be much skill there, but certainly I would definitely think a more physical team. So
there you go. There's our picks, ladies and gentlemen.
Give me the zoomies.
Yeah, give me the Air Force. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Yeah, give me the Air Force Academy.
My God, I want to stand up and salute.
Damn right. Why not? All right, look. Here's what we got this evening. We're going to give you guys the opportunity to jump into the show. Here is the link. Hear myself over there. All right, there you go. Let's look at some of these comments. Tennessee fan 3456 says, I know the Coots don't want to hear it, but you're getting too cocky. I think Wofford is going to play you close. Sir, if you think Wofford is going to play them close, you don't know much about the game of football. Wofford doesn't look when Wofford was keeping games close with South Carolina. Let me help you a little bit. They were running that weird flex bone triple option offense that South Carolina never sees every year. Wofford is going to try to line up in a pro style offense to go against South Carolina this weekend. That's all you need to know. They don't have the athletes to match up with South Carolina. Their first stringers probably wouldn't make the third string for South Carolina. No. They would be practice dummies. Let's just be honest here. Just the way that it is.
I'm thinking that Lenora Sellers and that bunch may play like 2 series or something.
2 series. That's what they should play. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if they don't play 2 series and we beat Wofford 21-0. 21-3. I don't care. I mean,
you're not going to learn anything out of that game.
Yeah, I don't care about covering any spreads. I don't give a shit. Just keep everybody healthy. You'll need them.
Let's welcome Eric to the show. Eric, what's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, since he's coming on, I wanted to leave you with this, Rob, and I swear I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but I want to make this part of my intro. If possible.
All right. What is it?
What?
Shuffle pass inside Sanders. Inside the 10. 5. Rocket going for it. Touchdown, Carolina. Touchdown, Rocket Sanders. From 15 yards out.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No, hell no, we just scored.
Hell no, we just scored.
All right, so
Jackpot, that was a hell of a game, buddy. Hell of a game.
Eric, were you the guy that
game,
called
buddy.
and interrupted Jackpot stream? Is this the dude that did that, Jackpot?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know why you were playing that for him then, but hey.
No, he's a Missouri man.
Oh, hey, Eric. Welcome to the show, sir. I apologize.
Oh, no problem. Jackpot, hell of a win, buddy. Hell of a win.
Yeah, that was a exciting game. Went all the way down to the very end. I thought we were done for.
Me too. But that defense, it gave up at the one time when we needed it to stand up the most, they quit.
Yeah.
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 Hey, Mizzou could still have a 9-10 win season, something like that.
Yeah.
They'll finish 9-3.
I mean, they got Arkansas and they play at Mississippi State this weekend.
They should win both those games.
Win both those, finish 9-3. That's a good season, Jackpot.
If they don't win both those, I gotta think that's a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
Really.
All right, Eric, what else you got, buddy?
Well, we're doing pretty good. Out here locally. We're ready from that. There was that bomb cyclops or that bomb cyclone, but here in the Pacific Northwest, we still don't have power, so we're doing okay.
All right. Well, I hope you folks get your power up and get everything squared away, sir.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
All right, man. Well, you have a great week, and we'll be thinking about you, man. That's tough, brother.
Thank you. And Jackpot, again, hell of a win, buddy.
Yes, sir.
There you go, Eric. Thank you, sir. All right, Eric joining the program there. Anyone else want to join us? Have at it. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know what else to say when somebody calls them they're still dealing without power. Man, crazy.
We were talking about today with the guys on the Mazodcast podcast. It was nothing Rocket Sanders did there at the end of that game. It's all them. They missed a bunch of tackles.
Jackpot, their feelings were hurt, man.
He ran over you. He ran through you. It didn't matter what you did. You were not going to bring that man down.
Yeah, it was a shit.
And I told him that too. I mean, sometimes these players just make plays, and that's all there is, and you're just not going to be denied that. But yeah, I didn't.
There were a couple of guys on the Mazodcast. Jerry, I'll answer your question in a second, sir. But there were a couple of guys that gave Jackpot the old "fuck you, Jackpot." Got motherfucked by a couple of those damn show me state assholes.
Yeah, but I didn't see a whole lot of sloppy tackling from them. I think that probably was their most physical and complete game of the year.
Yeah, they played. Look, Missouri played well enough to win that game. Which is
why we've got a lot of people out there bitching because they're still ranked. They're ranked number 23. And I'm hearing a lot of, they've just still got them ranked so that they can prop Bama up so that Bama will have another ranked win. I think it's because it was a hotly contested game with South Carolina, and the committee knows that they're still a good team.
They lost by 4 points on the road. Shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
But we're trying to prop Alabama up. Dumb.
Alabama doesn't need a Missouri team to prop them up. So let's just throw with that. Billy, welcome to the program.
Hey, on a serious note here, I was just on Rooster's channel a few minutes ago, and we were led to believe that BVD had passed. He's not passed. BVD is alive. He's at home. He's on hospice. I just talked to his daughter. So
Why is that always a rumor?
I don't know.
Well, because
it was a post that was
why.
made on YouTube. That was a mistake. That's all I can say. It doesn't matter who posted it.
Somebody had me thinking that, like, I don't know, what was before the season, like back in the summer.
Yeah, well, this was misworded, miscommunication. But I just talked to his daughter. He's alive and well. He's on morphine, and he's still with us at this time. So everybody, thoughts and prayers for BVD. And
He really had a rough time, man.
Yes, he has. His diabetes and stuff is all messed him up. But I'll let y'all get back to the channel. Thanks for letting me come on just for a second to relay that point and everything.
Thank you for letting me know that.
Hey, Biscuit.
It's weird seeing Billy not in the dark. That's strange.
Hey.
I'm actually seeing his light behind you.
Somebody paid Billy's light bill.
He's in a Motel 6 right now.
He's been a Motel 6. They
Don't
left
turn
the
the
light.
lights
I'm
out.
glad you let us know that, because before I heard the rumors and thought something different.
Yeah, it was just a miscommunication, a mispost, and that's it. But so what does Tennessee have to do to get in the playoff? First of all, they got to beat Vanderbilt like a dog. Indiana's got to lose to Ohio State. What else? They can't toy around with Vanderbilt. It can't be 10-10 at the half. It's got to be a complete blowout from start to finish, or they're not getting in.
Has to give some of the committee members.
It wouldn't be an awful thing for Georgia Tech to beat Georgia.
Well, Indiana is they're not beating Ohio State. It just, if Indiana hangs around with Ohio State, then Tennessee's not getting in regardless. So that's the only well, Notre Dame and Army. If Army was to beat Notre Dame, that's a possibility. But
yeah, but what you're not factoring in is what you're thinking about is you're thinking about each individual game, looking at them, and then taking the favorites. If you look at all the games for the next 2 weeks, the likelihood of every favorite winning is not likely.
Right.
That's why ESPN has Tennessee shot at whatever 88%.
Yeah,
getting in because they're looking at it from the standpoint that likely all these results aren't gonna fall through, right? Like that
Harry Legg said it best in a previous YouTube. It'll all shake out in 2 weeks, and it'll all come out. But I'm telling you, if Tennessee being on the bubble, they can't play around with Vanderbilt. They can't.
No,
they can't be doing this 10-10 stuff at first half and then winning by 7. That ain't gonna get it. And I wouldn't have any problem. I mean,
nope. And the thing about it is that's you know what kind of a warrior old Pavia is. This will be his last regular season game.
Well, the other thing, and I'm sure Biscuit will allude this because he's in depth like I am. That Arkansas loss that was looming over us as a bad loss, really now not looking that bad because Texas could only hang 20 points on them, and Texas only beat them by 10. So
they'll finish 6-6. They'll win this weekend against Louisiana Tech, but they're going to lose to Mizzou. So
who's this?
Man,
Arkansas.
Billy rolled that thing out of that Arkansas loss so well. Like I wonder if I could throw out something on the Clemson loss to Georgia. Like I don't know, the guys had the flu and that's why they played bad.
Well, it's like the Florida team a few years ago. They had another plane flying behind them. Those guys had the flu. They all had intestinal flu and stuff when they landed.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, it's a couple years ago when y'all played Florida Beach.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's the only reason we beat them is because they all had the flu. The only reason we beat Tennessee is because we put sand on the field to slow them down.
You did.
Yeah, there's
Sports J's got it all figured out. I'll let y'all go here and let Biscuit talk. I'll listen. Good night.
Hey, Billy.
I'm not sure anyone wants to hear me talk.
Biscuit, hey, I appreciate your donation to the charity.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
Very cool of Biscuit to put up some stuff there. As we're on the road to 5,000. The Rob's Walk of Shame, we're going to go in 9 days at Callaway's out in West Columbia. I'll have the link is in the description. We're going to talk more about it as the week goes on. I'm going to try to do rundowns every day up until the show. We're going to get there. Obviously, I'm not doing one on Thanksgiving Day, but hopefully you folks will come out and support the Children's Recovery Center. But Biscuit, what do you have for the show this evening, sir?
So I was tying into something that Kale said a minute ago. He was talking about something stupid fans say, where they say that they kept Missouri in the rankings so that Alabama can have a win. All these like mythological groups of people that love to support certain teams, and they're all disparate people everywhere. So I made a list of some of the dumbest comments that college football fans say in a cliche manner. And I was hoping I could share those here, if that's all right with you guys.
We like.
Well, I have a feeling I know what one of them's going to be.
Well, he I'm looking forward to this. What you got?
These are like the classic lines that everyone that a lot of fans say, and it comes from a lot of fan bases, but it's mainly a couple. How is Team A ranked in front of us? We beat them. I don't know. Well, maybe it's because they factor in the other 20 games that the two teams have played into the equation too. I mean, like, what do you mean? I mean, that's a tiebreaker in situations, and I understand head-to-head. I completely believe in head-to-head, but like, if you have 20 other games that you're looking at, and you have a situation like a Tennessee, Bama, Georgia situation where they each beat each other, well then, how can you be ranked in front of them and then have the other team behind? It doesn't make any sense. It's like bad logic. Right. How did Team B move up X number of spots, only beating this cupcake? Because there's games around them that were played that they're not going to drop them just because they play a bad team, right?
Right.
Other things factor into that. Other games.
This is one of my favorite ones. This comes a lot from Ohio State fans. I've heard, and I've heard recently some Tennessee fans saying this. Like, Alabama would make the playoff with 4, 5, 6 losses. Like they all say this thing. Are they aware that Alabama has only been to the playoffs with 1 loss max before? Like, I hear this all the time. Alabama would get put in with 3 losses, 4 losses.
Yeah, a lot of people say stupid shit like that, and I'm like, and then the other thing comes out of their mouth. Well, if they have 4 losses, they're all SEC losses, so they're not bad losses. That's the other part that I'm like, what? Okay.
One of my favorite classics. We're only X plays from being undefeated.
That's the Dabo line.
You guys aware that Kirby Smart is only 40 plays away from not ever having lost a game? Only 40 plays. That's all he needs.
Wow, if he could have just made those 40. That's all
I love that, because I heard that from someone, when Georgia lost by 2, beat Tennessee by 2 touchdowns. Someone said, they're only 2 plays from tying that thing up. Well, yeah, if you take an incompletion and turn it into a Hail Mary, like on 2 plays, that would turn over a lot of games, I think.
What was Uncle Lou was talking about in his video about them not understanding the rules of college football? Something that they thought that the shovel pass incompletion was a fumble.
Yeah, they thought on Georgia's Georgia runs a jet sweep. Yeah, where the quarterback's in the shotgun and the running back comes across, and he shovel passed to the running back, and the running back never got control of it. Ran a couple steps, but never got control of it and dropped it. And they were all up in arms about how it wasn't a fumble.
That was a fumble.
It's like, no, it's a pass. Sorry. It's a forward pass. How about this one? We dropped 6 spots when we lost, but Team X dropped only 3 spots. We're always disrespected. I hear that one all the time too. It's like, hey guys, there's other things going on around you. No one's using a microscope and looking at your one game. Yeah. This is one that is direct at Georgia. I'm a Georgia fan, but it's more about what their logic is Georgia has only been relevant for 3 years. So if you have to win a national championship to be relevant, then I guess what? We've only had 5 national champions in 10 years, so there's only been 5 out of 134 teams are relevant.
Yeah.
Like, does that make any sense?
Yeah. I think, I don't know, as each individual fan has their own definition of relevant or their own criteria for relevancy.
I think there's different layers of relevance, but
It's kind of like an onion.
The whole idea that you're not relevant if you're not winning national titles is kind of funny to me. So
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you have to define what relevancy means, right? Like,
right,
what does that really mean?
It's different with some people, like Vanderbilt is relevant this year because of the things that they've done, but historically over the past 25 years,
Yeah,
they've not been relevant. It's two, it's one example. So,
here's another one. The playoff committee loves the SEC. The playoff committee, made up of ADs from every other conference, loves the SEC. I don't really understand that logic either.
I don't buy that they love the SEC. I think that there's going to be a lean, I think, with once we're in this 12 team playoff, we're going to see more SEC teams there. And I don't know what metrics they use, but I think that people will still come out with that, even though it's probably not necessarily the list of things. I'm not in the camp of, hey, if you have an 11-1 Indiana team, they should be left out for a 10-3 LSU team. Yeah. I don't buy into that, because then why the fuck are we playing the games? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, 10-3 LSU, but if they lose to Ohio State and have absolutely no quality wins,
right?
And there's a 10-2 team that's beaten one or two ranked teams in the top 15. I mean, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that they
figure all that out, But I don't think the people that are saying, "Oh, it's going to be," I call it the SEC Invitational. I don't think it's going to be that way. I think there's going to be certain people in that room that are they're going to do the best they can to balance it out for what is best for the sport. And let's say that, if they, in their rating system, a 10-2 team rates the same as 11-1 team, but that 11-1 team's in the Big 12, just throwing out stuff here.
Yeah.
They're going to try to include everybody. I really believe that, Yeah. So
I think it's going to end up probably 4. I think the SEC will end up with 4.
I think 4 is fair. See, I also think that the whole thing where they've got all what was it, last week's rankings? 4 of the top 5 teams were from the Big Ten.
That's
so
true.
They're putting this out there. Not that they're trying to put the stuff to the Big Ten, but they're looking at it from the perspective of, look, we thought highly of the Big Ten. 3 weeks ago, we had 4 of their top 5 right here. And then they fell off. And once they fell off, the teams beneath them rose up. That's what they're doing with this, in my opinion. So, But
yeah, I mean, I think the rankings right now are a little bit flawed. It is a tough thing to try to compare. I mean, wins and losses are obviously the most important thing. I mean, that's the most important thing. However,
but don't you think that
at a certain point you have a ballpark? What's up?
It's as of right now, though, these rankings really don't mean anything. They're just television generators.
I mean, I wouldn't. So here's the thing. I'm a big proponent of strength of schedule. Obviously, you know that, but these teams, I think wins and losses are the most important thing. That's the first thing you look at. And so that's how you eliminate teams that are obviously out 6-6 and stuff like that. But when they're within the ballpark of each other, and someone has played 4 and 5 ranked teams, and someone else hasn't played any or beaten any, that has to factor in. Now, I think the problem with the way the rankings are, they do matter right now, because essentially what they've done is they've told you what's important to them, the college football committee. And now as the results come in, they're just going to adjust on that baseline, right? And so what they're telling you is that record is more important than what you've played. And so what they're telling everyone is, don't schedule Clemson. Don't schedule, Michigan or whoever else outside, The one interesting thing is, I think that could possibly happen, though, is the Texas A&M game, where everybody's it started to become a big news thing now, where everybody's saying it. But Texas losing, I think they deserve to be out. I don't know what y'all think of that, but
yeah, I mean, look,
to A&M, I mean,
look at the people that are ahead of them. If they lose, they're not going to make the SEC championship game, right? I mean, that'll knock them out of the SEC championship game. It'll send A&M to the championship game because they'll finish the season with what, one loss?
Yeah.
If everything
One
shakes out.
conference loss, yeah.
They got one conference loss and a loss to Notre Dame. So they're in Atlanta. And then I don't know how the rest of it will shake out. Would it be Georgia?
I heard it was probably going to be Alabama due to the
Yeah, Bama's in the driver's seat.
record of their opponents, their opponents' winning percentage.
Right.
Yeah, the SEC opponents that they have the best. The SEC opponents they've played are 45-25 or something like that overall.
So Texas would have 2 losses on the year, though. Their 2 losses would be to Georgia and to Texas A&M. That's a strong schedule, though. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but no,
they don't have any good wins.
Who have they beaten? You know what their best win is?
I mean, they scheduled to be fair. They didn't know how shitty Michigan was going to be this season.
Correct.
They were playing the defending national champions at the time. I mean, give them credit for that, I guess, but they didn't know.
I give them credit for going out there, but we can't help that either.
Yeah,
I mean,
know that, but
so their best win might be literally at Michigan or at Vanderbilt. That's their schedule. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the rest of it. Yeah, there.
You know, it's funny what you just brought up, though. I heard Bama fans saying this too. No one wants to go to the SEC championship now.
No.
So they've made the championship games not a reward; it's a punishment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't want to go to it. I'd rather sit in third, go and finish out, and hopefully beat Georgia Tech and finish 10-2, and then just sit there and wait for the seedings. I don't want to go play.
5 seed is the best seed.
That's the wheelhouse. Yep. It's ironic, isn't it?
You play your 5. All right. You're going to get the 12 seed, which is going to be the group of 5 champion, which I'm on record right now. Whatever the group of 5, whatever the 5-12 seed is, I'll take the 5 seed, whatever the spread is. Line it up because that's how bad it's going to be. They are going to, if they have the capability, they are going to meat hook whoever that 12 seed is just to put out there, look, you don't fucking belong here. I really, really, truly believe that. And there's none of these 12 seeds really, when you think about it, if it's Boise State, do you think that anybody is scared of those Smurf motherfuckers? I mean, seriously. You think that Georgia's looking like, yeah, we got to play Boise State? Get the hell out of here.
Everybody wants to see the way it's looking
Georgia's
right now.
Lost to Boise State before.
Yeah, but I don't think they're scared of them, man. I really don't.
I mean, what's the projection right now? So Ohio State gets the 5th seed. They play Boise State. They beat them. Then they get to play BYU or whoever's in the whoever.
Right. Well, that's you could have a shitty.
That's a bye to the semifinals.
Team. And I say shitty, but you could have an Ohio State team that ends up playing Boise State and BYU, in theory, and then that takes them all the way to the championship game, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping Georgia just gets to the 8th so that they can host instead of going away.
Boise played Oregon in week 2. It was a 3-point game.
Yeah, they did. That was very early in the season.
Oregon wasn't playing real great at the beginning of the season, but still.
Hey, last dumb comment by fans. This is my favorite. So this is the dumbest one. ESPN hates us. I honestly don't even understand that logic. So the organization that's been around since the late 1970s was built on a foundation of hating a team, and all of their employees there, as they hired new employees, passed that on to the next employee, right? And just cycled it, including graduates of that school who are forced to hate their own team, I guess. It's the most bizarre comment. I hear this from a lot of fan bases.
I've been hearing that a lot this week from Clemson fans because they claim that it's a noon game in Death Valley next weekend with South Carolina because ESPN is pissed off because they wanted South Carolina and Clemson to play on Thanksgiving night, and Dabo Sweeney was like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
What
So
is ESPN? Is it like Voltron? Do you guys remember that growing up? Like what
Yeah.
is it like? Like they become one body and then they have one brain and then they project.
I just like I'm looking at it. And I'm
Apparently,
like,
they project hatred out.
I don't understand that. It just hates. I picture this like robot forming at ESPN. Where are they up in Connecticut?
like the game
And
is
like
at
it just
12
walks
o'clock
around and
and
destroys it.
it's on ESPN, like their flagship station. So it's like, yeah, ESPN hates you so much. You're the first fucking game they're showing right out of game day. Yeah, they fucking hate you. And the other thing too, and I thought about this too. Clemson is looking at it from the perspective of there needs some help to get to the ACC championship game. Miami's right there in the mix.
Yeah.
If they had to play this game at 7 o'clock, the Miami game's at 3 o'clock. You just got knocked out of the ACC championship game because Miami curb stomped Syracuse. You think those kids aren't going to be heartbroken going out there playing South Carolina, knowing that one of their goals is completely out of the window? I think it's great for them to play it at noon.
That's a point. That's a point.
Be done by 3 o'clock, and you can figure out what the hell's going on with Miami and Syracuse.
I still think it's advantageous for the Gamecocks. Really, I really do. You don't want to play on the road at night.
When's the last time that South Carolina won a night game at Death Valley? And I'm not trying to troll, Jack.
2012.
Was that a night game? I can't remember. Yeah, it's been a while.
That was the one Dylan Thompson started. Connor Shaw had the flu. You remember that? That was the one. He hit that real nice pass in the third quarter to Ace Sanders, kind of on that seam route for like a 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah, we got fucking dick rubbed by your backup quarterback. I remember that. So yeah,
I am looking forward to these rivalry games this year. I always do, but man, this
Georgia,
year there are some.
And
really
I am not
compelling
trolling you, Biscuit, but does Georgia Tech have a chance?
Yeah, I mean they have a chance, sure. I mean, Georgia you've seen them this year. They're up and down, up and down. And by the way, last year I think this Tech team's probably better. And last year they gave Georgia some trouble. Now it's in Athens this year, but it's what time is that game? Oh, I think they're coming. It's a night game, so we get benefited from that.
So it's on Friday night, right?
Yeah, it's Friday night, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad they moved it to Friday too. I'm so glad, so I can watch the other games that are more important and watch Georgia.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to focus on.
We just talked to. Hold on, I got to address this over here, Jackpot. I'm sorry. People are talking about BVD passing away. Billy just talked to his daughter. That's not necessarily true from what we're told. So, just enough of all that. Until you read the obituary, we're not doctors and coroners here, so don't come spreading some silliness. He passing away. Billy just talked to his daughter. That's not. So anyway, yeah, that one is a funny one though. That ESPN hates you. They don't care. They just want you to draw numbers. That's all they.
But I don't know ESPN as a human entity that has a brain itself that can make those determinations. Man, it's like. How do they do that? Does it go do all the employees vote on something and then it goes up to the board and then they decide? Well, let's
to be fair, I think that ESPN had a section of time where they were trying to be more political in the way that they reported things, and they would bring their message to you from a perspective of I don't know, more left leaning. I think that's the easiest way to put it. So, I mean, I think the way that they report can be whacked out. But as far as, hey, we don't like your team, no, they don't give a shit. They want to draw numbers.
Do you remember? I think it was in the late 90s, early 2000s when they, out of the blue, suddenly hired Rush Limbaugh on the on the NFL.
And then it was so cheesy because when he wanted to say something, he would throw a red flag. Oh. And I'm like, what the fuck is Rush Limbaugh doing on fucking game day? Or not game day.
The funny thing is after he obviously offended them and said something, I don't remember what it was. He said something.
Yeah, he talked about Donovan McNabb and like black quarterbacks. He made statements
that's right.
about, black quarterbacks in the NFL. And it was just,
After they fired him, they had the next week on their NFL show where they had. I remember Michael Irvin was on it and a few others. They're
Yeah.
all sitting around like they're at a funeral, the four of them,
Yeah.
and they're acting like they're talking about how they're going to recover from this and that they just want things to get back to normal with all this drama and all this stuff. I'm like, a guy made a comment, you fired him, and you're sitting here worried about it.
Come on, man. What a mess. What an absolute mess. All right. Well, Biscuit, what else you got, man? Anything else before we get out of here?
I'm taking too much.
Hey, here's another dumb thing fans say. I thought you would mention this one, but you didn't bring it up. This you see a lot on Twitter too. After Team A beats Team B, the fans of Team B will often say things such as, "Congratulations on beating our worst team in 20 years."
You don't get any credit. You don't get any credit for it. Yeah, what's funny about that is that's like saying, my excuse for you beating us is we suck. That's great. That's great logic, man.
What was the other one? It was nothing that you did. It was about what we didn't do. It had nothing to do with you. That's another one I hear. Yeah. Nobody on this show does that, though.
Yeah, Rocket Sanders didn't really score that last touchdown. We just didn't tackle.
Right. I also hear the one. Well, I mean, some of this, like obviously when a team turns over the ball 5 times or something like that, that's an anomaly, kind of. But people will also often say, "Yeah, you beat us, but we turned the ball over 3 times." Well, we picked you off 3 times. I mean, what? That doesn't count. It's not part of the game.
We forced 3 turnovers.
I mean, there are ones where quarterbacks just drop the ball or something like that, and it just But yeah.
That all of those are good, Biscuit. Very good, sir. All of that's true too. I've heard all of those.
I've heard all these this week.
Yeah,
they're one fan base.
It's gonna get worse too.
What's that?
It's gonna get worse too. It's gonna get worse. You're gonna hear a lot more crazy ass excuses here before too long. Not very many fans will just take it and be like, "Fuck it, we lost." It's kind of refreshing when you find fans that do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those fans. When we lose, we lose. I don't make excuses. I don't talk about someone wasn't offsides or something like that or whatever. We lost. That's it. That's the way it goes. I got to give you credit, by the way, Rob. So a couple of weeks ago when we were talking, I brought this up a couple of weeks ago. I was saying that there won't be any 2-loss teams that are in the Power 5 that don't get in. Power 4 that don't get in. I was wrong, and I was completely wrong. Yeah. And you're going to get what you want. You're going to have angry people arguing over who should get those spots. I mean,
how over and under on trailer parks burned in the states of Alabama and Mississippi? I'm going to go with 8.
Is that the over under?
Over and under. I'm starting at 8. Anybody wants? We'll take some action on that because we may end up with a situation where they're going to look at Alabama and they're going to look at Ole Miss and they're going to be like, "What? Oh, one of them doesn't get in. Somebody's going to get mad."
Oh, I think those two are based. I mean, if they win out, those 2 are in.
We'll see. It's going to be fun regardless, But having all of them, they are like, you're going to have 2-loss teams that are going to be. I mean, Texas could be a 2-loss team that's going to be left out. One of the biggest.
That would be fun because that would you talk about butthurt. That would be the most butthurt thing you've ever seen in your life with that fan base.
Texas fans like. USEC fans, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have been chesty with me for years, but you let these Texas fans, especially on Twitter, run their mouths about we're walking right into the conference. We're going to win the whole fucking thing. Y'all need to be beating these motherfuckers in the head. I make simple comments about whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, we're walking into your conference and we're winning in our first year. Fuck you." That's what they're saying on Twitter, a lot of them. And nobody's challenging them. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
Well, the funny thing is because of the way the scheduling has worked out, and I think that's made the conference champion less important to people. They're so focused on the playoffs that no one really cares. Like let's say, for example, Texas A&M beats Texas, and that puts Texas A&M in the championship, and then they play Alabama and they win. Does anyone really think A&M is the best team in the SEC?
No.
I don't. I would pick them to lose probably, depending on the match in the first round of the playoffs.
But they've earned the spot, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's good. That's a great way to look at it. Great way to look at it. So
Anyway, I'll
All
get
right,
out of your
this-
hair so other people can get on.
hey, I appreciate it, man. You're always welcome here,
Thanks,
and
bro.
thank you for
Thanks,
helping out,
guys.
man. I appreciate it. All right, there you go. Let's bring in Peckerhead. Peckerhead, welcome to the program.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm just chilling with the Walter Camp National Player of the Week, Lenora Sellers.
Wow, guys, he's going to have to.
Lean your head down a little farther, and you can blow him.
He's going to have to build another wing on
The only
pull
quarterback
all
getting
boards.
blown by other dudes is Brokeback Cade. All right, let's not talk about homosexual quarterback.
How about do you have the trophy for where your quarterback leads the country in fumbles?
1 sack in the last 4 games, Rob.
Best in the country in fumbles, sir.
I was the one who gave you that stat.
I don't think so.
Oh, of course. But listen, I come with knowledge. So I have the official math it would take for South Carolina to make the playoffs. Do y'all want to go through it real fast?
Without question.
All right. So 5 of the 8 things I'm about to say would have to happen for South Carolina to make the playoffs. And I'm gonna just go down the list. You tell me if you think it could happen. All right.
No.
Just one by one.
No.
Number 1, Indiana blowout loss to Ohio State. I think it could happen.
Yep.
I don't think Indiana's been good, but Ohio State, I think, is going to dominate the lines of scrimmage. And I know y'all didn't touch on that much, but
I mean, that could happen. But you got to think Nebraska's a pretty physical team too, and Indiana road graded them.
I mean, Nebraska's not the same team they were to start the year, though.
Yeah, Nebraska competed with Ohio State too.
Yeah, but Nebraska gets rid of Satterfield, so they're automatically going to
Roadhouse.
Yeah, Nebraska's shit. I mean, let's just be real. They got a decent quarterback, but they're shit, man. Let's not polish a turd on them. But number 2, I don't think number 2 would happen. But an Ole Miss loss to either Florida or Mississippi State, I don't think that one will happen. A Notre Dame loss to Army or Southern Cal. No, I think Southern Cal could come up and bite them in the ass personally. I don't think they'll lose to Army, but I think Southern Cal could have a last gasp. I mean, they've got good skill players. Is Zachary Branch still playing? Or is he hurt? If he's playing, they can win any game they're in.
Yeah, I guess so.
You need a – so that would be –
Kind of like they went away. I mean, after that Penn State loss, they kind of just drifted into oblivion a little bit.
Yeah.
They being USC pronoun boy.
Yeah, well, can you believe that fucking team beat Texas A&M too? I mean,
who, Notre Dame?
No, Southern Cal.
Southern Cal didn't. Like, you mean LSU?
That was LSU week 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Still, I think it was Florida State that played last year. But
well, LSU sucks. So
that's true.
It's been so it turns out. They're not any good.
So unlikely, but 2 potential of the 5 that could hit. Unlikely, as I said. Georgia lost to Georgia Tech. I don't think's happening. A Tennessee loss to Vanderbilt, I think, could happen.
That's possible.
Probably I think that's very possible. I mean, once that anchor hits the turf.
That anchor hits the turf, I mean, all bets are on the table.
Anything could happen. But a Texas A&M loss to Texas, I think that could easily happen. I mean, that game. Yeah. SMU or Miami lost in the regular season and in the ACC championship game. What do you think about that, Rob?
If almost made the playoffs, they need to beat Clemson and then hope Clemson somehow or another wins the ACC. Like Miami needs to lose to the Fruit or Wake Forest, which that's probably not going to happen. But, I mean, they could potentially lose to Syracuse. So they need to lose to the Fruit so Clemson can play an ACC championship game and win it. And South Carolina beat Clemson, that would give them a win over a conference champion.
And well, and the eighth and last one, I think is more likely than that ACC one is a BYU blowout loss to Arizona State, and then a loss in the Big 12 championship. So we would have to have a lot of dominoes fall our way.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit. Would have been best just to loop. I wonder if the playoff committee at all takes into consideration South Carolina's the way they lost to LSU.
Well, that was going to be my thing. Like, it's a little early for the what ifs, but we can all agree that LSU is not as good as we thought they were. That loss stings really bad because if South Carolina was able to pull that out, like we're looking at, South Carolina legitimately would be in the playoff talk right now.
Yeah, but do you think that they also look at the way that they lost with the fuckery, feet on the ropes, bullshit?
No, I don't think they care. I mean, you're asking my opinion. I don't think they care. But I do think that
probably not. They're cold and callous.
Yeah.
An 8-2 South Carolina team right now, they would be right there in the mix for that playoff spot, in my opinion.
Well, also, did y'all see Kyle Kennard? He's one of the 4 finalists for the Lombardi Trophy.
I'd heard that.
I mean, it's good to see some of these Gamecocks getting some individual awards as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
shout out to Dennis Wilson, friend of the program, who is watching this season.
He's from Pillion, ain't he?
You better watch your mouth.
Isn't he from Pillion?
I think so.
You need to watch your mouth, sir. I'm not even gonna let that shit fly. He's nowhere from near no goddamn Pillion. Stop it. Jaden, go upstairs with that son. You're too noisy. My son's over here watching videos.
But if you want my opinion, I think they have it at noon just because who wants to watch?
It says you like bananas because of the shape. Look at the stare on his face in that little picture right there. The way his eyes are. What's he looking at?
He's looking up to the heavens, sir.
I think it might be a blue-eyed, one-vein, purple-headed trouser trout.
You think Dennis is looking at trouser trout?
Could be.
Could be.
Could be. I noticed a little drip of saliva coming out the corner there. You just can't see it, but I've got the laser focus.
4K.
So yeah. Dennis is looking at a trouser.
I'm blowing it up right now, actually.
Listen,
okay, then.
See if I can find. Is there an oracle over there?
An oracle. Well, another thing I wanted to touch on. Now that we can finally pop shots at Missouri, all right, we finally beat them. Now we can fucking poke our chest out. Eli Drinkowitz 1-6 versus top 10 teams. That's diabolical.
Is that since he's been at Mizzou or?
Yeah, since he's been at Mizzou, and they have a .333 road SEC winning percentage. Terrible. Missouri is never going to get over the hump. Especially, I mean, how are they going to replace Brady Cook next year? First and foremost,
they don't. I mean, he's Brady Toughheart. They don't think he's all that great, to be honest with you.
Oh, he's good. He's the heart of their team. Without Brady Cook, they're not winning 10 games last year. They're damn sure not beating Ohio State. I know Cody Schrader played well, but Brady Cook kept them in a lot of close games too. They didn't really exactly blow out a lot of people. So. I don't think
I think the second call voicemail that I left the Zodcast folks, Rob, did you hear that when I did the Eli Drinkowitz impression of the, hey, y'all tell Bob Stoops he don't whip Missouri's ass no more. Remember when he did?
Yeah.
He did that last week or the week before last. After they beat him by 7 points and almost fucking lost. And he had.
I do have a question. Somebody brought it up over. You didn't eat those chips yet, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, I was hoping that you would eat them at the live show. That's why I was hoping you would wait. You said you would eat them. Would you eat them at the live show?
You gotta eat them.
Yeah.
What flavor are the Luther Burden chips?
Look, I'm getting my head shaved and possibly tattooed. You could eat some stale fucking potato chips for the show, sir.
Yeah, I was like, at first, and then I said, I don't know if I want to eat them or not. It might be a collector's item, but then I said,
Nothing that's produced nowadays is a collector's item. It really isn't. So
All right, so Jackpot's eating.
Plus, they're like potato dust anyway. I'll probably have to hold them up like this because I've thrown that bag a couple of times and didn't shit. So yeah,
old too, aren't they, Jackpot? How old?
What?
How old are they? They're like 3 years old at least, right?
They are. Let me grab them. I'll tell you when they went out of date.
Yeah, there's a Julian date on them that has to be like fucking. It's got. I mean, they're shitty. Let's just leave it at that.
Listen,
SEC Dog says Robin Jackpot, y'all need to do the hot chip challenge live and see who breaks first.
That's a good idea.
I ain't losing no fucking Gamecock in a chip challenge. Fuck all that. That ain't happening.
Come on now.
I ain't losing shit.
You don't do hot food well?
No, I just said I ain't losing. You heard what I said.
Oh, I thought you said you ain't gonna do it.
All right. Luther Burden, Old Vienna, St. Louis Red Hot Riplets. Went out of date. The best by January 14th, 2023. They're full of air. Well, that's cool. They're red hot riplets, but they're honey barbecue flavored. Man, I bet these motherfuckers are going to stink too, man.
Yeah, Matt says, "Oh damn, eat those expired baddies live, the entire bag." Yeah, that's what you get from our live show.
This is not quite like Uncle Lou drinking the 40-year-old Coke. Remember when he drank that 40-year-old Georgia National Championship Coke?
He did that?
He did it. Yeah, it's on YouTube. He did it when they lost to Bama in the national championship game in 2018.
Oh God.
Yeah, he drank that 1980 Georgia Coke.
Well, I don't know if you heard, but it's a bad day to be a Daniel High School graduate. Finally, all the 350-pound, 5'6" white kids are going to have to leave the Clemson football program and go just actually be a student, you know?
What are you talking about?
Dabo Swinney crying about how many Daniel High kids he's going to have to cut due to the 105 limit. I mean, what a crybaby, dude. Quit taking all your fucking sons and every other white kid from Daniel High School, and maybe you won't have that problem.
He had all the Venables boys.
Hey, Jack, do you mind if I play a second of Uncle Lou drinking this fucking thing? Because that's actually kind of funny.
No, you got it up?
Yeah, I've got it right here. Hold on.
I bet it was just a sludge at that point. No way it was liquid.
It was. I remember him drinking it. He got sick, if I remember correctly.
All right, there you guys can see that. There's Uncle Lou. And
this is when he hung out in the garage cave.
There you go.
He had the team asshole hat back then too, though.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see here.
That ain't gonna twist off, buddy. You're gonna have to get a bottle opener for that.
I thought I could get a new Coke bottle this year instead of this old one from 1980.
Walking the Under Armour. Maybe he's supporting the Gamecocks there.
Fuck, Uncle Lou, get a bottle opener. What the fuck's wrong with you? Oh. He's got to fight with it for a minute. What the hell's Uncle Lou doing here?
Welded on.
All right, so here you got it off. Let's fast forward a little bit. Yeah, it's off. And then now he's going to are you going to drink? What are you doing here, buddy?
I wonder if he put this in the refrigerator before, and just in case. Or no, he's going to drink it hot.
Hashtag pray for Lou.
Hashtag pray for Lou. Ugh. Oh, just take the shot, asshole. Go. He's already gagging. Like, no, this is terrible. This is pre-Georgia winning their national titles too.
That is sick.
Fuck that.
Oh, he went back for fucking Chug. Oh god. Oh shit.
Uh,
What a disgusting person.
Jesus, don't call him that. He's gonna yak.
No,
Okay.
look at him. He just drank that Coke was from the we were in a recession at that time. The 80s? That was what, 82?
1980.
It was 80? Yeah. We were
Yeah,
that's a
probably
recession.
bottled in 1981. So.
Oh fuck. Poor Uncle Lou. At least.
Oh, I feel bad.
Oh God!
I feel bad for him.
Oh, he's about to yak himself. All right, there you go. Poor Uncle Lou. All is remedied now, though, because
Well, now he's got to buy one.
26.
I hope he bought one for when were their
Second
national
26,
championships? It was what, 2020? I mean, they won 2 in a row, right? Wasn't it? He needs to have 2 Cokes. And when this dude's 70 years old and they haven't won another national championship since, I want an update video. Because I'm a big fan of cycles. Alabama beat the cycle for a while. We're seeing it with Clemson. I think we're starting to see Georgia hit the end of their cycle. I mean, Saban, he's the only one that's been able to fight off the cycle curse. Let's just be honest.
Jackpot's going to eat some stale Luther Burden chips that probably smell like a fucking taint.
Oh, to be fair, potato chips don't expire
I'm not
that
sure
bad.
that they didn't smell like one when they were fresh, but
Potato chips don't get that bad when they expire.
For the last show, right? Jackpot sits on one end and I sit on the other. I may, since I've got the wireless microphone, when he starts eating that shit, I might go fucking somewhere else. Because I imagine once those things open up, it's going to smell like.
There's a YouTube channel where people eat all kind of old shit like that. There was I was watching it here a while back. Like some guy, he had a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos that when I was dating like 1996 that they found in a locker in an old grocery store that had closed down, and this guy, he ate the whole bag.
Yeah.
Well, listen, what challenges do y'all have lined up for the live show? Are y'all taking any more suggestions on anything?
Well, I'm open to
we're always
stuff.
open to suggestions.
We're going to do the King of Smack. We're going to find out who is the best, who's best with a microphone in their hand, basically. And, you enter that and you get a cash prize if you win. So pretty cool.
Can't argue with that.
I had some ideas, but I don't like,
there should be some 1v1 Kale versus Rob challenges as well mixed in. I don't think there were any of them at the last live show. That could be good.
That's true. Like we could come up with some stuff that Jackpot and I have to do. That's fine, and we can
battle it out.
Like I don't know. We got like 5. Jackpot, are you down for that? Like 5 things. We'll see who does them best.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's maybe one of them could be like. I know somebody said like the hot chip challenge.
I don't know about that because that's like an end the show type thing with the whole hot chip thing. I mean, that's like, I mean, I'm not scared to do it. I'm just saying it's like,
Well, we got to game plan some stuff. There's got to be.
We'll take suggestions on that. Rob and Kale versus each other. There we go. The versus battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be 5 different events. It almost sounds like I'm stealing from Uncle Lou and his Slav Olympics, but I'm not. We can do some other things. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But
you need to. You're entering the King of Smack challenge, right?
Yeah, it should be. What's the total on it?
It's $20 to enter.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have all these topics in a fishbowl. One of them is going to be the SEC's the best conference because you got 60 seconds to go. There'll be topics like that. I got all of them in there. You'll draw one out. Harry Leg says a wing eating contest. That might be fun.
Wing eating? Doesn't Callaway's have good wings? I heard, right?
Callaway has wonderful wings.
Yeah.
Do like a series of how many wings can we eat in 3 minutes? We could do that.
I'm taking Kale on that. I think Kale beats you flat out.
Okay.
You seem like a boneless kind of guy.
No, sir. I hold my own.
You like to suck on the bone after?
I don't suck on anything, sir.
Well,
But no, I mean that might be something.
yeah, that'd be a good idea. But there's got to be
Absolutely.
at least one that's just kind of out there, like something creative. We'll have to figure it out as a Carolina.
Well, I
Jackson
thought we could do cornhole for one too. Play
cornhole.
a game of cornhole outside, where, but I mean you have to have a partner for that.
Yeah.
But that might be fun to do the cornhole part of it. We could do pool too. Jackpot, do you play pool?
Not very well, but I do play it.
Or darts. Any of y'all play darts?
We could do darts. That might be cool.
Rob plays butt darts.
Yeah. I do play butt darts.
And lawn darts.
Lawn darts.
Clemson fans still got their lawn darts. They
Look, seriously, y'all come up with 5 things over there, and we'll do the 5 things, the versus things there for Jackpot and I. We'll definitely
I
do
think
that.
that'll be fun. We ought to just everybody get together, leave some comments if you got some ideas. Let's give them some suggestions how to make it a good show, because it was good last year, but
This
it's always
is loudest fart. That's not gonna work this time.
loudest part. I think Kale.
I yield to Jackpot.
Loudest fart. Well, hell, you can't fart on command.
Yeah, do karaoke. We ought to do a karaoke challenge.
Oh.
That'd be good.
Oh, there you go.
That would be good. That would be content.
Oh well,
Would that get copyright?
Interesting. We couldn't broadcast that because it would be like that would get copyrighted.
Well, they allow covers on YouTube.
Yeah, but once they hear the music there, it's gonna be the shits. So
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Hey, I go up there and I'll sing a song if we have a little community.
What are you gonna sing? It's Raining Men?
No, I'm gonna sing. What am I gonna sing? Maybe I'll sing.
It's Raining Men. Come on, sing it. Sing it.
Maybe
Pepper.
Maybe I'll sing. I ain't as good as I once was.
You never were any.
Back in the 2010s. We
I don't
ain't
know.
as good as we once were. Clowning and Ingram on the edge.
I ain't as good as I want.
Jackpot. This is like, this
ever was.
This is something that could be really cool. We could do 5 events. Like we could do 5 different things and have a scoreboard going. That could be pretty cool.
If you want a crash course in reality, you get yourself a working man's PhD.
Wayne says he's got one.
Well, Aaron Tippin for you.
Okay.
Well, I'll leave y'all.
I don't know. That might be cool though.
I'll leave y'all with 2 more things if that's fair, and then maybe a cast-off soliloquy. Thing number 1, I said this I think in a rundown, which we need some more rundowns. I've been missing them, Rob. In a rundown, Kyle Kennard could have more impact than Jadeveon Clowney had, and I'm pretty sure I said that. What you remember, Rob? 4 or 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's now 3 sacks away from tying Clowney's sack record at South Carolina. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, we talked about it on the radio last week. So yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, Clowney was pretty. His last year, he didn't really do a whole hell of a lot.
He was playing for the NFL.
Well, he told before the Wofford game in his junior year, he told Spurrier, "Fuck it, I'm not playing." That happened.
The first official opting out for college.
No, he told Spurrier, "I'm not fucking playing." That actually happened. So,
well, the last thing I wanted to say is I think I touched on it a couple live shows ago. CBS has been praising Lenore Sellers. He's now officially climbed to 5th in the country, according to CBS Sports, on their quarterback power rankings. I'll get y'all's reaction to that. Here are the people in front of him. I'll just give you the whole list. You got Shadur at 1, Jackson Dart at 2, Milrow 3, Dylan Gabriel 4, Lenora Sellers 5, Will Howard 6, Curtis Rourke at Indiana at 7, Arizona State.
And are these their rankings for like are they rating them as how they played by the week?
It's playing power rankings, so I'm assuming it's. I'm not exactly sure what the criteria is, but it's billed as a power ranking.
Probably has something to do with their individual stats.
Well, wait a minute. How can you bring something?
I mean, he's put up a hell of a lot of passing yards, and he's got a shitload of rushing yards too.
It doesn't give a methodology, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying to be.
Oh, here we go. It says this is not an NFL draft board ranking, nor is it based on any kind of statistical formula. Your numbers matter, sure, but overall, I'm ranking quarterbacks based on the juice they have at the current moment in time.
So
it's a combination of how well you're playing and what you have accomplished.
Who wrote this?
What'd you say? This is Tom Fernelli.
Tom Fernelli is writing about the quarterbacks that gets his dick hard.
This is the main CBS contributor for college football.
Tom Fernelli. Who's Tom Fernelli a fan of?
Never heard of this woman. I'm sorry.
He's an Illinois fan. He's one of those guys on that CBS Cover 3 pod. He's a guy with the glasses.
He does have got. He kind of looks like a schmuck, to be honest with you. I'm looking at his picture.
That's who knows your quarterback.
I used to think he was a douche because he was always shitbagging.
I mean, this dude looks like he could handle my my taxes a lot better than my college quarterback.
I don't mock anybody as far as they would have put out their ratings or rankings or whatever, but in the end, none of them really mean much.
Hey, I said it the last time I brought that up. Is I don't necessarily agree with them. I don't know if you remember.
I agree with Chris over there, who's normally a drunk asshole. He says Sellers is better than Nico.
Oh God, yeah, dude. Oh my God.
I agree with that. If you told me I had to have one or the other, I'll take Sellers, even though
we didn't even have to give $8 million for him.
Nico might be a bottom half SEC quarterback. I mean, I think Lagway is better than him.
Who's better between Nico and Brock Vandergriff?
Oh, that's tough.
What now? Who's better than
Nico and Diego Pavia?
Pavia, I'm taking over Nico.
Nico and Carson Beck.
I'm taking Beck.
Nico and Quinn Ewers.
I'm taking Ewers.
Nico and Jackson Arnold.
I'm taking
Nico. Nico and the quarterback at Arkansas.
Let me check his stats real quick. Let me see the SEC.
That's a good question, Jackpot. I don't really know.
Kalen Green.
There you go.
Here, I got the list of the quarterbacks. I'm taking Jackson Dart above him. I think I'm taking Garrett Nessmeyer above him. I mean, he's got 3,100 yards. Taylon Green. He's got 11 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 2,300 yards.
He's always threw shit. He threw a shit ton of interceptions at Boise.
That's probably about 50-50. I'm taking Milroe over him. When it comes to Peyton Thorne, I'm taking Nico. I'm taking Quinn Ewers over him.
Oh, I'm not.
What about Nico and Brady Cook?
Yeah, that was the next one.
I'd take Cook.
That one's a toss-up. That one's a toss-up.
No, I'd take Cook.
No, Cook all day long.
Cook all day and twice on Sunday.
I think Cook is really good at Missouri. I don't think Cook necessarily could replicate what he.
If we're doing just ratings on what we think of them, I like Cook more than I like Nico.
I thought it was like, what quarterback would you want? But that's fair. Lenoris, I think we're taking Lenoris.
What about Cook? What about Nico and Cade Klubnik?
I would probably take Klubnik.
I would too, because
right now,
Nico ain't gonna run. I mean, Klubnik is at least can get you that 50-yard touchdown. Like Nico ain't doing that.
No, Klubnik can pull. Klubnik can pull a rabbit out of his ass every now and then. He's got that in his tool belt.
He's made some highlight reel plays this year. I mean,
I'm not shit to him.
But
and now, personally, I think I'm taking Marcel Reed over Nico right now.
Okay.
I forgot about him.
Wakeman, I think I'm taking over Nico.
What about Nico and Arch Manning?
I'm taking Arch. Well, I haven't. I've seen good from Arch.
Archie's looked good when he's played. Yeah,
Nico hasn't gone out and drug his dick on anybody who was worth a shit. All right, Arch Manning's done that. He's
what
gone
are you
out.
talking about, Brock?
Arch Manning's
Oh,
always
I did see that.
on, right?
Beamer had said. I figured Rob would talk about this too. In his press conference today, he said that basically talking about Juice Wells saying, "Oh, we had a player come into the office wanting to transfer, saying, well, we ain't got no quarterback.' I was telling him, we do. You've seen the practices. You know we've got a quarterback." He's like, "Well, I just don't know." And then he's like, he smiled and he chuckled a little bit. He's basically talking about Juice Wells saying Lenoris wasn't going to amount to anything.
So Jacob
Yeah,
Elsley.
I had a feeling that's what you know. Thing was, he had a fucking quarterback last year
That sat out the whole fucking year.
Should have been up to his standards of quarterback, and he still wanted to be a bitch and not play. Yeah. So what's the excuse there?
No, his vagina just hurt.
I can play it. I can play it. Hold on, I got it right here. I already found it. Let's see here. Come on.
Look at my screen up there. It looks like I'm not even present.
Yeah, you just see a head.
All right, so this is Shane Beamer right here. Let's see what he says.
Left our program after last season, and one of the reasons he told me that we were leaving is I don't think we're going to be very good, and we don't have a quarterback. He told me that.
It's quiet, Rob.
And I said, well, we got us a
Hold
quarterback.
on, let me bring it up here. He says this. Let's just bring this up here and see if that'll help. Yeah. Let's try it again.
They left our program after last season, and one of the reasons he told me that we were leaving is he said, I don't think we're going to be very good, and we don't have a quarterback. Like, he told me that. And I said, well, I disagree. We got us a quarterback. You've seen, our quarterbacks at practice, and we're going to be good around him. And that player said, I don't know, coach, it ain't looking too good. Well, he's somewhere else right now, and there's a lot of guys that are here and are glad they're here as well.
He's doing up under the bus with all 4 tires spinning.
That's funny. I mean, and to be fair,
did he name him by name, or he just say that player?
Yeah, he just said that player.
Oh well, we know he's talking about.
We know he's talking about.
We know about.
He ain't talking about Mario Anderson. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer, look, and you guys get pissy with me about this.
Well, he could be talking about old Omega Blake.
What do you say, Rob?
He's the king of keeping receipts. He doesn't forget shit.
Fuck no. And I'm glad when he lets it loose on someone. That deserves to be said. That comment right there deserves to be said. If we're honest with ourselves. Because there was a perception going in.
Look,
that we weren't going to have a quarterback.
South Carolina's been really good this season, and he's done. I mean, to be fair, he's done a good job with this team this year. But he doesn't have to stoop to that level to appease that fucko. Because he is Juice Wells is a fucko.
Yeah,
I mean,
let me do I haven't done a Juice Wells check in a while. Let me do my Juice Wells stat check. Is he still absolutely terrible?
Just look up fucko in the dictionary.
He scored a touchdown against Georgia.
He's got
fucko.
Where's it at? Oh my gosh. 496 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I knew he scored one against Georgia.
Let me see if let me check something else.
Yeah, I look, I don't think that I think that South Carolina was more worried about him than anything in their matchup with Ole Miss. But on the other hand, we can all think that Juice Wells is a fucko. He is a fucko.
Yeah, the only good thing he ever did was completing a 3rd down on a bubble screen in upstate hillbilly land versus Dabo Swinney.
Well, he caught that big touchdown pass in that game too.
That was all Rattler. He threw it on a dime. That was all right. It was the play action, sunk the safety in. All right.
He's got to have somebody to catch it too, though.
That's true. Luke Doty could have. Hey, by the way, Rob, you ought to check it out. I sent it to Kale.
What?
Luke Doty has a podcast now. I don't know if you knew this. It's actually pretty good. He's got the other week. Oh, you'd love it, Rob. If you're not gonna watch it, at least pass it on.
No, I'm not passing on to anybody.
No, I'm gonna say pass it on to that guy who you do the radio show with.
Why the fuck would I do that? If I want to watch Gamecock content, I'm gonna watch Jackpots and Gamecock Chuck. That's what I'm really gonna try to fucking watch. Don't give me this bullshit about Luke Doty's podcast. I'm watching Luke Doty.
All right, closing comments.
Navy guy says this is why Beamer goes 8-5. He gets a massive raise, and when we go 8-5, it's considered a disappointment. Well, when did you go 8-5? Imagine bashing a dude who will likely play in the what?
Tennessee has such an inflated ego. It is insane. They think they've arrived.
So these people
think they've arrived. They have lost apart from, I guess, Alabama, which Alabama gave them the fucking game. Let's just be honest. Anybody who watched that knows Alabama gave them the game.
And Rooster too. I'm sorry, I forgot Rooster.
Yeah, don't forget Rooster.
I do stuff with Rooster Show too. So, yeah, I've got plenty of good Gamecock content I can watch before I go watch the fucking fifth string quarterback for the team. So,
fifth string wide receiver. Get it right, sir.
Whatever fucking position he plays.
Well, I was saying that he had a really good one with DeCarrion Joyner. That's what I was going to recommend to you. I know
when they go 8-5, it's considered a disappointment. What is it called when you go 0-8 in the conference? Because you did that a couple of years ago.
That's funny.
So,
no, you're paying $8 million for a quarterback that's in the bottom third of the conference.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that?
I mean, and listen, are they just going to go and get another $8 million bum to replace him? I mean, how the fuck are they going to afford to pay another quarterback to come in? They're stuck with Nico, if we're honest. I mean, Nico's not leaving. He's cushy. He's sleeping in velvet sheets right now. You know what I mean?
He's like a skinny DJ Uyunglele.
It's farting through silk, right, Jackpot?
What's that?
It's farting through silk.
Hey, would you know, Luke, not Luke. What am I talking about? Walt up here in the upstate. He's talked about him several times lately on his show, and he's convinced that Florida State's not any good, that DJ Uyunglele was not the problem. He said, in fact, he was probably the best player on your offense. He said, the problem is all the players around you stink.
Wait. The final year he was there, okay?
Who said that?
He's talking about at Florida State.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I don't want to hear this shit about fucking, because what's his name? Old Mustache is playing for the Eagles. I mean, there are guys that are playing in the league right now that were out there as playmakers for DJ Uyunglele. And that motherfucker couldn't do anything but hit the back of a damn cheerleader's forehead. So fuck that.
He's talking about this year at Florida State. He said he said if he hadn't gotten hurt, he said he'd still be the best player on your offense. But he just doesn't have any pieces around him. No, that's not true.
Now, Florida State had pieces.
Did
you also see the Gamecocks just got crystal balled? It was a Florida State commit who just decommitted. He's a number 57th overall national player. I think
what position is he?
Oh, God, I had it right here. Give me 1 second and I'll tell you.
All I know is don't come at me with the DJ Uyunglele. Oh, he was the player on the team. No.
Defensive line. It's his Kevin Wynn. He's the 59th overall player in the 2025 class and the 10th overall defensive line. So that'd be a big get for that 2025 class.
Yeah, they gave him a crystal ball to South Carolina?
Yep, to South Carolina. It was who gave it to him? It was J.C. Sherbert. He usually gets it right. I mean, I know he's a Gamecock insider, but he's pretty accurate.
You guys remember when J.C. Sherbert made comments and he had to delete his Twitter account? You go back and
no. What happened there?
That was a long time ago, but he had to go Twitter dark for a while for some shit he said. So
you serious?
Yeah, a long time ago. But
let me see his accuracy.
They advertised for some some off-brand cell phone or something on the 93.3 up here in the upstate, and like the like as they're like fading out of that commercial, they have a little they kind of troll Shane Beamer with it at the same time. It says, "You won't believe the phone call I just received."
Oh, good news. By the way, sorry to interject. It wasn't just J.C. Sherbert. It was also FSU insider Brennan Sonnen and a 247 contributor. So he's got 3 crystal balls right now.
Hey,
And we've
Buck,
also,
last thing for tonight. How fucking shitty the Florida State went from 13-0 in the regular season last year to, I mean, Georgia really did break them. That's all I've got on that. They are fucking 1-9 this year. I would have never bet they would go fucking 1-9.
and stuck with Norvell too. That's the worst part. It's not even. I mean, what the hell do you even do?
I can't help
But
it.
the thing is, with how many transfers Florida State takes, I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I could easily see them having an immediate fix just as easily as they had an immediate downturn this year.
Yeah, because they
I mean, they bring in
what? They just did bad transfer portal evaluation.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to bring in at least 30 or 40 new transfers again. Probably a new quarterback. You might see Wegman go there, to be honest with you. But I mean,
they've got 7 decommitments from their 2025 class.
Mm-hmm.
Changed their name from Seminoles to decommits.
I think who was it? Twisted Rooster was working on old Raymond James Stadium up there. Remember?
He was working on Doak Campbell.
Doak Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he placed a hex on him when he was up there.
Now, what was this player's name?
Kevin Wynn with 2 N's. Wynn.
Yeah, it's not showing on here yet.
Yeah, I've got it here.
25.
Yep, go to latest crystal balls. You'll see it. He's still committed to Florida State right now. That's the crazy thing. They're flipping their crystal balls from Florida State to South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I see him now.
Yeah, so he's still committed to Florida State, but they're flipping.
He's from Greene County, Greensboro, Georgia. Yeah, I heard something about this kid. I think one of the kids that plays for Carolina went to his high school.
Really? Well, listen, what D lineman, and I know I said this will be my last thing, but this will actually be my last thing. What D lineman wouldn't want to come play for the South Carolina team? And also, Clemson, you don't take any transfers. You're never going to amount to anything, all right? The last time you were in the news, it was because you had a player taking pictures of QB2 Schlong, all right? It's a bad day to be a Daniel High School player, all right? Dabo Swinney, he's just coasting for – I mean, he's a 9-win coach now. And in the ACC, it's piss poor. Go Gamecocks, baby.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago you were talking about Dabo Swinney's an 8-win coach. You just have to revise every time Dabo wins.
No, he just earned a win somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm going to put the link is in the description there for the show. We need some silent auction items. I've been ranting and trying to get it, but it's just tough. So
can I make a cake and put it in the auction?
Yep. If you want to put Jackpot's cake in the auction, yep. I don't give a shit what it is. It could be anything. If you got like a baseball card or whatever you could send our way.
I got a couple big old shoeboxes full of commons. You know.
Yeah, I'm just saying we could do Jackpot's cards. Buy Jackpot's cards. Somebody would buy that shit. I mean, seriously. If you have something that you would like to give for the live auction, that's great. The link is in the description, tells you how you can help out with the live show. We're on a quest for 5,000, and we're going to try to get there. Help out the kids. So that Jackpot's been a great show. Make sure you get your picks in.
Outstanding.
Jackpot's eating post-dated potato chips that smell like taint at the live show.
Well, it's not been confirmed that they smell like taint, but I mean the box is the bag is blown up. So
Yeah,
I mean,
what's gonna eat that shit? Ugh,
they're probably going to be hideous.
they're gonna be hideous. All right, thank you guys for checking out the show. We'll see you later on.
Yeah.